Welcome to the conversation. I'm Steffanie Rivers with TCB Drones Academy. Now, did you know that when it comes to occupations in the United States and how people make their money, a majority of people make their money through manual labor. They do some type of construction work, roofing. They drive vehicles for transportation, UPS, FedEx, long haul driving. And at some point, that becomes too much for them to handle as they age. So some people find themselves looking for a different way to make their living. And with the steady change in how technology is being incorporated in companies and with businesses, companies want their employees to be more technologically advanced. But if you've been making money most of your life as somebody who does manual labor type work, that transition can be hard. That's why TCB Drones Academy has started to offer scholarships to people in our community to help them to make that transition. One of those people is Micaela Thurman. She's our latest scholarship winner, and she's joining us today to talk about what she plans to do with her drone pilot certification. Welcome to the conversation, Michaela. How are you?
Hi, thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing great, thanks. And congratulations again on being one of the winners of our scholarship to our drone pilot prep course. So, we wanted to have you on just to talk about what that transition means for you. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you currently do, and what led you to look for something that was more technical so that you could get into that arena.
Of course. And thank you again for this fantastic opportunity. I'm originally from Florida. I've been in Texas for about 10 years now, where I got married and came out here. For that time, I was employed at UPS and I was doing good. It's a, great company. And I was driving in 2020, and during the beginning of COVID, I suffered a serious back injury. So at the time, I decided that, I needed to try to find something that would fit my new situation with me having that back injury. And I came across drones. I looked for, it was something that my wife had mentioned being interested in. And I said, well, let me search women in drones. So I did that, and I came across your page, TCB Drones, and I was extremely interested. The amount of just it was extremely exciting to see it. So with that, I decided that I can get into drones. I said my next venture would be going into something that I love, something that I hold dear to my heart. And with my research, I learned that there is drone conservation. So I decided that environmental conservation would definitely be a route that I would be interested in doing with my drone certification.
That's awesome. And you said a mouthful. So I know that, and sorry to hear about your injury, or, sometimes those things happen and we have to, if you don't have your health, any money that you have is going to be spent trying to take care of that. So it's always great to make sure you're doing what's best for your health. And so, and you're the second person to tell me that they looked online and looked up women in drones and came across information about our company, TCB Drones. So that's great to hear that we're doing a good job with that. So I will say that we've had hundreds of people to apply for our scholarship program, and I just go through and just read the applications, and yours spoke to me as to your tenacity and and your story. So, you know, a lot of people want to know, well, how can she choose me over somebody else? And I don't really, you know, I don't look at the names, I don't look at where you're from. I just look at your story, whatever it is you have to say, and that spoke to me. So you're one of the people I feel like will take advantage of the knowledge and get that certification as soon as possible, especially in the Houston area. Do you plan to stay? You said you are looking to go back to Florida and use it to do conservation work.
Yes, actually Georgia.
Oh, okay. So you're moving to Georgia.
Yes,
Okay.
in a few years down the line though, not right away.
All right. So, do you plan to start your own business doing that, or you already have something lined up? Because I know there are a lot of contracts out there whereby people use drones to do aerial mapping, to do aerial surveying, where you can actually take the drone and try to, what is it, calculate, try to see how the forest vegetation is growing, or if it's not growing. They use it for livestock counting, and not necessarily on a farm, but just wildlife. That might be a better term. They use it for wildlife, so you can count the number of deer, the number of bears, all of those things. So people who are in that industry can kind of keep up with, is there a problem, is this category of animal going extinct, what do we need to do? So how did you get interested in that? You just being in the Florida, the coastal area, that is what you did on as a for a hobby, or did you work with someone in that area?
I just found the interest as a young child. I was always spending time on the beach. Anytime we had beach cleanups, I always found myself there. Any type of wildlife work, it was just always amazing. I originally wanted to be a veterinarian, so I do still have a strong interest in wildlife and animals. They're just so beautiful, and so is, you know, the earth. We only have this one home. So it's always been very important to me to care for the environment. And I do plan to eventually start a business, but I want to start off working, you know, with contracts with different people in different areas and building a good rapport. And then definitely starting my own business with different things such as search and rescue, just helping the community, the environment, anything I can do that is just helping.
And I think that's a great idea. In fact, TCB Drones is partnered with an organization called Black and Missing. They are based in DC, and they are in business in they help family members of missing people who don't have the resources and or the backing of law enforcement. You know, if you go to them and they might say, oh, your family members just don't want to be here, or they might be, you know, they just come up with a reason why they no longer will give their resources towards looking for that family member. But the families feel like we still need help looking for them. So Black and Missing takes on the that challenge and that partnership with the family. So we partner with Black and Missing so that if a family member if wants us to look for their family member that's missing, they will tell us where they were in a certain area where they were last seen. And then we'll take the drone up in that area and look for them, look for clues like they had on an orange shirt, or they had on a blue sweater and or red jacket, and those types of things that stand out against the green forest. And so that's important. So yeah, we need more people who are willing to help in that area, because as we know, sometimes when Black and brown people go missing, the resources that are put towards them are not the same as when other people go missing. So if you know anyone who is in need of, their family members are in need of an aerial drone search, that's what we do. So if you would like, I could put you in contact with Black and Missing. There's another organization that I can never remember their name, that also does the same thing. So we try to do community work like that as well. So do you already have a drone and you're just trying to get a business go, or you start working with that drone, or you've never flown before? What's your experience with being a drone pilot?
Well, I do not own a drone. In the process of me doing my research, I did learn that it wasn't something that we needed to learn right away. I did have one experience with my first drone. It was bought for me as a gift for my birthday, and my first experience, it flew away on me. I lost control of it, so it was definitely a fun and funny first time experience. And then outside of that, the only other experience I have with is on the Oculus Quest. I decided to download it so that I could become familiar with the controls. But as of right now, I'm just focused on the certification and learning what I can so I can go ahead and make sure that I pass that.
And you brought up a good point. I always just ask people what is their experience, but according to the FAA, they right now they don't test on practical drone pilot skills. You know how when you get your driver's license, you have to know the rules, and then you have to go in the car and show them that you know the rules. So
Right.
with the FAA, they don't require you to show them that you know how to fly the drone yet, but they are working on that part. And that's why I always tell people, go ahead and get your certification now, because it's not going to get easier, it's going to get harder, and you don't want to have to be pressed and to show somebody what you can do with the drone and maneuvers and with all the other things that you have to worry about. So you can learn all that after you get the certification. So that's important. And that's something that will help you do based on what you tell you what's the best drone and the software that can go with that and help you out. So it's good that it seems like you have the support of your family, and I hope that you are able to jump in. What we want to do is we take our students through the 3-day virtual drone pilot prep course. And then, so we want you to sign up for that, study and attend the class, or look at the recordings of the class. And then with your study classmates, you form a study group so you can help each other through. But because everybody's coming to the class with different life experience, you might find that, well, I already know how to read a map, longitude, latitude. What I need to focus on, you might say, is how to decipher a weather report or airspace, all those things. So then that's when you go and do your own self-study, but also take practice exams, because we supply you with practice exams, and we want you to make a 85 or above on that practice exam every time that you take it. Go ahead and sign up for your Part 107 exam, let's say 2 weeks out. So that will give you the sense of urgency to actually practice and prepare. And then when it's time for that to happen, then you will already have practiced. And then when you go to the exam within 30 days of taking the class, voila, you pass. And that has happened for a number of our students. So, the what most people do is that we find keeps them from succeeding is they try to study by themselves. They don't, they look at a bunch of videos on a YouTube, and although information is good, if you already are confused about what you're supposed to do, getting more information is only going to be more confusing. So having a coach is important. Secondly, getting with people who can help you, which will be your study group. and then creating a sense of urgency for yourself and not just saying, okay, I'll just take it later on, because then a month passes, 6 months pass, it's the end of the year and you still haven't taken that test. And now you've forgotten basically everything that was fresh in your mind. So that's what we want to do, is to help you to create that system that can push you through. And then when we get your Part 107 out of the way, then we start to feed you assignments so that you can get your flight hours up and get your skills and your level of comfort with flying drones. So when whatever the FAA says and whatever they start testing people on, you already know, because we've done it and you didn't have to do it under pressure, basically. So that's what we do. So we're looking forward to having you with us, and just wanted to for everyone to meet you, because you know how when you, I don't know if you've said this to yourself, but did you say, I'm really, they're probably not really giving away scholarships, but I'm just gonna try it just in case? Or did you think, okay, let me see if I can win?
No, I definitely thought, like, I saw it. I was like, oh wow, they have scholarships. Let me go ahead and give this a try, because I've won something maybe like twice in my life, and it's a rare thing. So I was like, let me just go ahead and give it a try, and we'll just see what happens, because you don't know if you don't try.
Amen to that. That's true, and I like to hear that, because you never know. So happily, and congratulations again. So we will be seeing you, and then if you out, you will become a member of our alumni association. I like to say, whenever people pass through the class, and we will always be here to help you. So especially, we have tons of support in the Houston area. And so, yeah, so thank you again for making time, and just have a good rest of your day. And if you have any questions between now and when the class starts, don't hesitate to reach out. But I will be sending out another communication, just making sure everybody has the link. And you should have gotten your class textbook. Yes?
I haven't received it yet, but I'm
Okay.
watching for it.
Because I mailed it. Hopefully, it'll come today. But I did send it out, but I'll send a digital copy. So at least you'll have the digital copy while your hard copy is still being mailed. All righty.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. So we'll see you. And thanks again for taking time, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time and this great opportunity.
All right. See you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.
All righty, that was Micaela Thurman, and she's our latest scholarship winner with the TCB Drones Academy drone pilot prep course. And as I said, a lot of people, if most of the time, men and women, they are in jobs that are non-tech savvy. And so the most experience that we have with technology oftentimes is the apps on our phone. And so we need to, my nails look a mess. I need to do something about that. Anyway, we our goal at TCB Drones is to train and coach the next generation of drone pilots, and bring more technology savvy people in from our community into this ecosystem. So if you know anybody who could use this information and this knowledge, then you can go to tcbdrones.com to find out when our next webinar is, when our next class is, and you can also apply for the scholarship. Now, don't just hang out at the scholarship tab now. Go on and enroll. You can't wait for everybody to give you something now. But at any rate, some people will get a chance to get that scholarship, and others, you just have to go on and meet us at the class. Okay. So to find out more about us, or to follow us, we are on all the social platforms. Our handle is at TCB Drones. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for being here. Have a super